Throughout history, every civilization has its legends. It's tales of heroes whose courage and strength forged the very destiny of their people. These aren't just stories told around a campfire. They are the echoes of real men and women, warriors whose actions on the battlefield rippled through time, changing the course of nations forever. Today, we're diving deep into the origins of these heroic legends, uncovering the true stories behind the warriors who became myths. Let's start in ancient Greece, with a name that resonates even now: Leonidas of Sparta. We all know the story of the 300 Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae. But was it just a glorious defeat? Far from it. In 480 BC, the massive Persian army under King Xerxes was invading Greece. A small force, led by Leonidas, chose to make a stand at the narrow coastal pass of Thermopylae. For 3 days, they held back an army that vastly outnumbered them. While they were eventually overwhelmed, their sacrifice was a strategic masterpiece. It bought crucial time for the rest of Greece to mobilize its forces. The Athenian navy, inspired by the Spartans' bravery, prepared for the decisive naval battle at Salamis. The stand at Thermopylae wasn't just a tale of valor. It was a calculated delay that saved Greek civilization from Persian conquest, allowing the concepts of democracy, philosophy, and theater to flourish and shape the Western world. Leonidas became the ultimate symbol of dying for one's country, a legend built on a foundation of strategic genius. Now, let's journey east to the warring states of China and meet a figure who is as much a goddess of war as she was a real person. Fu Hao. Long before Mulan, there was Fu Hao, a consort of King Wu Ding of the Shang dynasty. Over 3,000 years ago, her tomb, discovered in 1976, was one of the most incredible archaeological finds in history, filled with treasures and, most importantly, weapons. Oracle bone inscriptions from the era tell her story. She wasn't just a queen. She was a high priestess, and incredibly, China's first recorded female general. She led armies of up to 13,000 soldiers into battle, a massive force for that time. She conquered neighboring tribes, expanding the Shang dynasty's territory and securing its borders. Fu Hao's military campaigns were so successful that she was entrusted with the most critical missions. She was a military leader who commanded respect and fear, breaking every gender norm of her time and ours. Her story was almost lost to history, but the evidence proves that this legendary warrior queen was very, very real, a testament to the power and leadership that knows no gender. From China, we travel to the heart of Africa, to the kingdom of Kush in modern-day Sudan. Here we find the story of the Conquests, the warrior queens of Meru. The most famous of these was Amenarines. In 25 BC, the ever-expanding Roman Empire, fresh from conquering Egypt, decided to push south into Kush. They expected an easy victory. They didn't count on meeting Amenarines, described by the Roman historian Strabo as a masculine sort of woman. And blind in one eye, Amenarines personally led her army against 3 Roman cohorts. In a stunning initial assault, her forces sacked Roman-held cities, toppled statues of Emperor Augustus, and took Roman prisoners. The Romans, shocked and humiliated, retaliated with a larger force. But Amenarines didn't back down. For 5 long years, she waged a relentless guerrilla war against the most powerful empire in the world. In the end, the conflict concluded not with a Kushite surrender, but with a peace treaty favorable to her kingdom. The Romans withdrew, and the border was set, a line they would never cross again. Amenarines, the one-eyed queen, had faced down the might of Rome and won. She protected her people's independence and became a symbol of fierce resistance against colonial power, a legend etched into the history of Africa. Now let's sail north, to the cold, rugged lands of the Vikings. The image of the Viking warrior is iconic: bearded, axe-wielding, and overwhelmingly male. But what about the shield maidens? For centuries they were dismissed as pure myth, the stuff of sagas. Recent archaeological discoveries, however, are rewriting that story. The most famous example is the Burqa warrior grave. For over a century, the skeleton found within, buried with a full set of weapons, swords, axes, and 2 horses, was assumed to be a high-ranking male warrior. but in 2017, DNA analysis proved the skeleton was female. This discovery sent shockwaves through the historical community. It was tangible proof that women could and did hold positions of high military authority in Viking society. While it's unlikely there were entire armies of women, it shows that legendary figures like Ligortha from the sagas of Ragnar Lothbrok might have been based on real, formidable female commanders. These women weren't just background characters. They were leaders, strategists, and fighters, carving their own legends in a world dominated by men. The Shield Maiden is stepping out of myth and into history. Finally, we go to the Americas, just before European contact, to the heart of the Aztec Empire. Here, the warrior elite were the jaguar and eagle warriors. But their legend wasn't just about ferocity in battle. It was deeply tied to their worldview and social structure. To become a jaguar or eagle warrior, a young man had to prove himself by capturing a certain number of enemies in battle. Notice I said capture, not kill. For the Aztecs, warfare, known as the Flower Wars, was often about taking captives for ritual sacrifice, which they believed was necessary to keep the sun in the sky and the universe in balance. These warriors were the instruments of the gods. Dressed in stunning costumes made from jaguar pelts and eagle feathers, they were a terrifying and awe-inspiring sight on the battlefield. They were the pinnacle of Aztec society, revered for their bravery and piety. Their legend wasn't just about conquest. It was about a sacred duty to maintain cosmic order. They were the guardians of their civilization, warriors whose every action was woven into the fabric of their religion and their nation's survival. Their story shows how a warrior-esque legend can be about more than just land or power. It can be about preserving an entire way of life. From Leonidas's strategic sacrifice and Fu Howe's command, to Amon-Ernest's defiance, the Viking shield maiden's proven existence, and the sacred duty of the Aztec warriors, these stories are more than just epic tales. They are the historical bedrock upon which national identities are built. They show us that heroes are forged in the crucible of crisis, and that courage, leadership, and the will to fight for one's people are timeless virtues that transcend culture, gender, and era. These warriors changed their world, and their legends continue to inspire us today. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through history. Who is your favorite legendary warrior? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more dives into the incredible stories that shaped our world. See you next time.